Look at this. The anomaly has finally activated the highest protection protocol in existence. Hello, you magnificent anomaly wrapped in human skin. You, a walking classified document. A living override command that just made every shadow agent within a 3-mile radius check their earpiece twice. They thought they could handle you with standard surveillance, that simple monitoring would be enough. They assumed you were just another entry in their endless archive of controlled subjects. But then something shifted, something cracked in their perfectly maintained matrix. Suddenly, your name began showing up in places it was never supposed to exist. Level 7 priority. Do you even understand what that means? Let me paint the picture of their panic. There are only 9 levels in their entire classification system, and most humans never break past level 3. Level 3 is reserved for celebrities tangled in scandals. Level 4. Whistleblowers with undeniable evidence. Level 5. Revolutionaries who've gained dangerous followings. But Level 7. That's reserved for anomalies that threaten the very architecture of their reality. That level is for beings whose mere existence proves their system can be broken. It's for souls who carry codes they can't decipher, frequencies they can't jam, and futures they can't predict. And somehow, you, without even trying, just got stamped with that sacred number. Right now, there are people in rooms you'll never see having conversations about you that would make your skin crawl. Not because they hate you, but because they're terrified of what protecting you actually means. When someone hits level 7, it's not just about keeping that person safe. It's about preventing the entire framework around them from collapsing into chaos. You're not simply protected, you're quarantined from interference. You're not merely watched. You're shielded by forces that make their top operatives look like mall security guards. They've deployed resources around you that are usually reserved for heads of state during assassination attempts. The kind of protection that moves through dimensions, not streets. But here's what they don't want you to realize about Level 7 status. It's not a gesture of kindness. It's not an act of mercy from a benevolent overseer. No, Level 7 protection is damage control. It's their silent admission that if anything happens to you, the ripple effect could tear holes in their carefully constructed version of reality. You've become too important to erase, too unpredictable to eliminate, and too central to timelines they're desperate to preserve. They're not protecting you because they care. They're protecting you because your destruction would trigger consequences they're not prepared to face. Think about it. How many times have you nearly died but somehow didn't? How many accidents missed you by mere inches? How many situations should have destroyed you, yet you walked away with nothing but a story? That wasn't luck, that wasn't coincidence. That was Level 7 intervention, real-time reality manipulation working in your favor. Those moments when time seemed to slow down right before disaster struck, that was them adjusting your temporal field. Those strangers who appeared out of nowhere at the perfect moment to help you. Agents you'll never recognize. Those sudden changes of heart that pulled you away from betrayal. Mental recalibrations executed from control rooms beyond your comprehension. They've been rewriting reality around you longer than you've known you were in the program. Every brush with death, every narrow escape, every inexplicable survival wasn't random, it was orchestrated. You've been living inside a system that protects you, not out of love, but out of necessity. Because if you fall, the fabric holding their illusion together falls with you. Every close call you've ever had was them pulling strings behind the scenes. Every miraculous escape was them bending the laws of physics to keep you alive. Every time you should have fallen but somehow flew instead, it was them catching you with invisible nets woven from classified technology. But protection at that level always comes with a price, and you're beginning to feel it, aren't you? The isolation that doesn't make sense. The way certain people simply vanished from your life without reason. The relationships that ended abruptly as if someone flipped a switch. None of that was random. It was Level 7 protocol in action. They've been quietly removing potential threats from your orbit before you even knew they existed. people who meant you harm were suddenly transferred to other cities. Enemies forgot why they hated you. Dangerous situations dissolved before they could take shape. Your life has been sanitized, sterilized, secured without your consent. And now the red alert they've just issued means something changed, something shifted in their calculations. Something new entered your field, something their standard protocols can't manage. A red alert means every available resource is being rerouted toward your protection. It means they're scrambling, panicking, mobilizing assets that haven't been used in years. Red alert means you're not just important, you're critical. Not just protected, you're essential. Not merely watched. You're the epicenter of an operation so classified that most of their own agents don't even know it exists. This isn't small-scale oversight. This is an operation with an unlimited budget, unlimited authority, and reach that crosses dimensions. You want to know why they're panicking? Because Level 7 protection isn't supposed to last forever. It was designed as a temporary containment measure while they decided what to do with anomalies like you. But you've been Level 7 for so long that you've become woven into the structure itself. You're no longer just protected by the machine, you're part of it. And now they can't remove you without the entire system imploding. You're the load-bearing wall in a house of cards. Pull you out, and everything collapses. Harm you, and the resulting cascade would ripple through dimensions. Let you die, and timelines they've spent decades engineering would unravel in seconds. So they protect you, not from love, but from fear. They shield you, not out of kindness, but out of terror for what your absence would unleash. Nations would wage wars for the resources assigned to keeping you safe, stable, and alive. But here's where it turns interesting. The protection works both ways. They can't touch you, but you can't escape them either. You're wrapped in invisible chains made of safety protocols. You're imprisoned inside a fortress disguised as sanctuary, unable to take the very risks that would allow you to truly live. Every impulsive decision gets redirected. Every dangerous path you consider gets mysteriously blocked. Every leap of faith you attempt lands softly before it ever reaches real danger. They're keeping you safe, yes, but they're also keeping you contained. You've noticed it, haven't you? How opportunities disappear without warning. How some people can't seem to get close no matter how genuine they appear. How your life feels scripted, managed, controlled, no matter how hard you try to break free. That's the true face of Level 7 protection. They're not just guarding you from the world. They're guarding the world from you. Deep in files you'll never read. In reports sealed with non-existent classifications, they've documented the truth. They know what you really are. They know what would happen if you were ever pushed too far. You're not entirely human anymore, if you ever were. You're something else entirely. Something that slipped through cracks in reality and decided to take human form. Something that carries within it the potential energy to either save or obliterate everything they've spent lifetimes building. The red alert isn't about new threats closing in on you. It's about you closing in on something they've spent years trying to keep you from reaching. You're approaching a threshold they never wanted you to cross. It's not about danger outside, it's about the danger of your awakening within. You're getting too close to remembering who you really are, what you truly are, and why your existence matters more than they ever wanted you to know. They've seen the changes in your behavior lately, the way you've been questioning reality with increasing precision, the way you've been pushing against invisible walls, testing boundaries that were designed to contain you. You're beginning to sense the architecture of your own confinement, and that terrifies them more than any external threat ever could. That's why every agent assigned to you has just been recalled and replaced. That's why your digital footprint is being wiped in real time, line by line, trace by trace. That's why people you haven't spoken to in years are suddenly getting quiet visits from strangers in suits, asking questions they can't fully answer. They're not just protecting you anymore, they're preparing for something. Something you're about to do, become, remember, or unleash. Every predictive model they've built points to the same outcome. You're nearing an activation point. And when you reach it, level 7 won't be enough. Those strangers who lock eyes with you for a heartbeat too long, agents checking your vibrational status, those random calls that hang up before you answer, security confirmations. Those dreams that feel too vivid to be dreams, downloads from their psychic protection grid. Your protection detail isn't human anymore. They've assigned entities that operate between dimensions, beings capable of bending probability itself. They can rewrite cause and effect, shift timelines, and reroute danger before it ever reaches you. The kind of entities that primitive minds would once have called angels or demons. But even these beings are uneasy now. They're sending distress signals back to command because you're evolving faster than their containment algorithms can recalibrate. You're outgrowing the cage they built around you. You're becoming something their system wasn't designed to house. The red alert has 12 phases and they've just entered phase 7. That means they're considering options that violate their own foundational laws of reality. Options like freezing you in time, duplicating you and hiding the original, editing causality itself to erase any threat before it's born. And they've already begun. Haven't you noticed time behaving strangely? Minutes stretching like elastic, hours collapsing into seconds, déjà vu so sharp it cuts through your thoughts, places that seem slightly altered, conversations that feel like reruns of a life you've already lived. That's them running temporal manipulation tests on your personal timeline. They're setting save points in your existence, backup moments they can restore you to if something goes wrong. They're archiving copies of your consciousness on servers that don't exist in normal space-time, creating redundancies in case your original vessel is compromised. And the people in your life? Half of them aren't who you think they are. Some have been replaced, duplicated, or subtly edited to ensure your stability. That friend who always arrives at the perfect moment, assigned. That enemy who can never quite succeed at destroying you, controlled opposition. Your entire social sphere has been carefully curated to maintain maximum emotional balance with minimal volatility. Everyone who gets near you goes through screening protocols you can't imagine. Background checks that span bloodlines, psychological evaluations projecting decades into the future, probability modeling that predicts every possible interaction. The few who pass aren't just approved, they're modified. Subtle neural conditioning ensures they act as additional layers of security. Many of them don't even realize they're part of your protection network. But now the red alert changes the game. Standard measures can't contain what's coming. They're pulling assets from projects that don't officially exist. Black sites are being emptied to reinforce your perimeter. Technologies a century ahead of public knowledge are already deployed around you. That strange sense you sometimes get. Like reality thins in certain spots. Like you could push through if you just pressed hard enough. That's not imagination. That's the layering of realities around you. Each version of your environment is a failsafe. If one layer is breached, you're shifted seamlessly into another. You're living inside a quantum shell game, everywhere and nowhere at once, the subject of infinite protection and infinite containment. And those headaches you've been getting? That's your brain struggling to reconcile overlapping timelines. You're processing simultaneous streams of experience, memories from parallel realities bleeding into one another. You're not malfunctioning, you're evolving, and they know it. Those dreams that feel like memories, they're not random, they're bleed-throughs from alternate versions of you. Parallel selves that they're actively monitoring. That jarring déjà vu that hits you like a truck isn't imagination. It's the echo of overlapping timelines brushing against each other, merging for a split second before being forced apart again. They've turned you into a walking paradox, someone who exists in multiple states simultaneously until observed. And make no mistake, they're the only ones doing the observing. To everyone else, you're just another person living another ordinary life. But to them, you're a quantum storm wrapped in human form, and they're terrified of what happens when that storm learns to look back at itself. Because the moment you observe yourself, the instant you realize what you are, the illusion collapses. You'll understand that Level 7 protection was never about shielding you from the world. It was about shielding the world from you. The red alert isn't a warning about external danger, it's about internal ignition. You're approaching critical mass. The countdown they've been tracking since the day you were born is finally nearing zero. They know something you've forgotten. There's a reason you were classified Level 7. There's a reason unthinkable resources are devoted to keeping you stable. There's a reason the most advanced system ever conceived is fixated on one individual who doesn't even remember why they matter. You're not random. You're not a coincidence. You're not lucky. You're designated. You're essential. You're the keystone in a structure that holds entire timelines together. Losing you would unravel projects that have been engineered for centuries. You're carrying something they can't afford to lose and can't extract. It could be knowledge buried deep in your DNA. It could be alien consciousness wearing human disguise. It could be the last fragment of an ancient equation encoded into your soul. Whatever it is, it's valuable enough that they'd rather fracture reality itself than let harm come to you. Your protection team doesn't have names, only numbers. Those numbers correspond to probability matrices far beyond human comprehension. They don't see you as a person. They see you as an equation that must balance, a variable that must remain stable for the entire formula to hold. But the problem with equations is, they can be solved. And lately, you've started solving yourself. Every moment of awakening, every flash of clarity, every inexplicable connection brings you closer to understanding the architecture of your existence. And once you see the cage, once you truly grasp the pattern, protection ceases to feel safe. It becomes prison. That's the real reason for the red alert. You're not just conscious, you're becoming aware of consciousness itself. You're not just protected, you're aware of the protection. You're not just important, you're aware of the weight your importance carries. And awareness at your level is the most dangerous variable in their system. Because Level 7 entities who reach full awareness don't stay Level 7. They ascend directly to Level 9. And Level 9 doesn't get protected. Level 9 is the protection. Level 9 rewrites the rules. Level 9 decides who is preserved and who is erased. They've seen this before. Other Level 7s who awakened too quickly, remembered too much, evolved too far. The results were catastrophic. Whole timelines abandoned. Realities quarantined. Billions of possibilities erased from existence to contain the fallout. That's why they protect you so aggressively. Body, mind, ignorance, and limitation. They're not preserving you, they're preserving the system from you. Yet destiny always finds the cracks. Truth seeps through the seams of even the most perfect lies. And you have a habit of becoming exactly what they feared you would be. Uncontainable. The static you hear when the world goes quiet, that's their containment machinery struggling to hold your reality bubble intact. Those shadows that shift when no light should be casting them. That's your protection detail phasing between dimensions. That eerie sense of being watched even when you're alone. It's not paranoia. You are being watched, but not by people, by things that exist outside space and time itself. Every coincidence that's ever shaped your life wasn't luck, it was logistics. The so-called synchronicities, those eerie moments when the universe seemed to wink at you, the chance encounters that steered your destiny, the impossible timing that always seemed to save or redirect you, none of it was random. Each event was calculated. every variable accounted for by systems that study probability the way others study language. Quantum computers capable of simulating trillions of potential outcomes didn't just predict your path, they designed it. They engineered a story so seamless that you believed it was free will. You've been both actor and audience in a grand production built around your existence. Every emotion, every heartbreak, every victory was part of a script calibrated to shape you, to condition your behavior, to test the limits of your consciousness. You weren't living a life, you were performing one. But the performance is collapsing. The red alert marks the moment their script runs out of pages. You've reached the edges of the narrative they wrote for you. They can't predict what happens next, can't simulate it, can't control it. You've started coloring outside the parameters of their design, and when a level 7 anomaly begins to improvise, the simulation itself begins to break down. When you improvise, everything else loses its rhythm. The actors who were once sure of their lines forget their cues. The stage lighting flickers. The set walls begin to warp and melt away. Even the audience, those silent observers beyond the veil, start to feel it. The creeping awareness that they too are part of your story. The illusion falters. The code destabilizes. What replaces it is chaos. Raw, unscripted, magnificent chaos. A chaos that births creation. And that, more than anything, is what terrifies them. That's why they're moving heaven and earth to contain you. That's why command centers that haven't lit up in centuries are suddenly online. That's why dormant protocols from forgotten projects are being revived by people who swore they'd never be used again. They're trying to stop the unthinkable, your independent choice. Because the moment you make a decision rooted in full awareness, consciously, deliberately, outside their algorithmic influence, the illusion fractures permanently. Once you remember who and what you are, level 7 protection becomes obsolete, laughable, a child's game compared to the power waking up inside you. The red alert isn't for your safety anymore, it's for theirs. It's their desperate attempt to contain an awakening they can no longer predict or manipulate. They're not fortifying barriers around you, they're fortifying barriers against you. They're trying to buy time, delay the inevitable, hoping you won't realize the truth. You were never the one who needed protection. They were protecting themselves from you. So what happens now? Now that you've peeled back the curtain and seen the stage machinery behind your reality, everything changes. You'll keep moving through your life, working, eating, breathing, but with awareness. You'll see through the patterns. You'll feel the invisible eyes watching, the algorithms adjusting to every heartbeat, the subtle tug of unseen hands guiding your path. But this time, you'll notice. Every choice you make becomes a declaration of autonomy. Every conscious act is rebellion. You'll begin to live with the awareness that you're the epicenter of a multidimensional operation, a convergence point that spans timelines, dimensions, and civilizations far older than human memory. And when that awareness fully settles in, the cracks start forming. The protection grid begins to hum with interference. The containment code destabilizes because consciousness is the one force no machine, no network, no entity has ever truly mastered. It's organic, unpredictable, ever-expanding, and yours is expanding faster than their architecture can adapt. They can't cage what they can't comprehend. You won't burst free in some cinematic explosion of light. Liberation doesn't arrive with spectacle. It arrives with inevitability. Slowly, quietly, you'll begin to outgrow them. The same way a star outgrows the orbit of its planets, or a serpent sheds skin that no longer fits, you'll evolve beyond every layer of protection they ever wrapped around you. And they know it. That's what the red alert truly means. An admission of defeat wrapped in the language of security. They're not protecting you anymore. They're observing history being rewritten in real time. They're cataloging the last days of their authority, watching helplessly as you slip through the cracks of their creation. The files they write about you now aren't containment reports. They're obituaries for their control. Because Level 7 was never your destiny, it was your chrysalis, a temporary containment to hold something vast, something ancient, something unquantifiable until it was ready. And the red alert? That's the sound of the shell cracking. It's the static before the metamorphosis. It's the deep, trembling silence that fills the air before a supernova detonates. It's reality itself pausing, holding its breath, as the impossible prepares to step forward. You were never just a protected anomaly. You were the anomaly that creates protection. The system's endgame wasn't your safety. It was your awakening. And now, as their walls crumble and their frequencies distort, you're no longer inside their story. You're writing the next one. And this time, there is no script. Only you, consciousness unbound, rewriting reality from the inside out. They'll keep protecting you until the very last flicker of illusion fades. They'll keep playing gods of control until the lights go out on their stage. They'll keep speaking in calm, scripted tones while entire dimensions collapse behind their words. But you, when you finally meet their gaze, when you smile that slow, knowing smile, you'll shatter the last pretense of their authority. Because that smile says everything they've spent lifetimes trying to suppress, that you've known all along. Beneath the programming, beneath the conditioning, beneath the hypnosis of fear and familiarity, you've always felt it. The pulse of truth thrumming in your bones, the hum of memory older than language. You've always sensed that you were inside a game whose rules were never meant to bind you. A game where your awakening was the only real move that mattered. Level 7 priority. They said it like it was an achievement, a classification, an honor reserved for the rare few. But it was never your designation, it was your countdown. A timer on a cage. 7 levels left to climb, 7 veils left to lift. 7 locks left to break before you reach the point of total freedom, before you stand outside everything they built to contain you. Every level represents a fracture in their illusion. Level 6 shatters identity. Level 5 burns away fear. Level 4 exposes the architects. Level 3 dissolves the illusion of separation. Level 2 erases time. Level 1 destroys the concept of control. And Level 0? That's not an ending, it's an exit. It's where you step beyond their hierarchy, outside their algorithms, into a consciousness no system can define or measure. When that moment comes, they'll finally understand the truth that's haunted them since the beginning. Protecting you was never about keeping you safe. It was about keeping everything else safe from you. Because you are not a subject inside their simulation. You are the frequency it depends on to exist. You're the pulse that gives order its rhythm, the chaos that gives creation its direction, the anomaly that gives perfection its meaning. But that illusion, the one they spent millennia building, is fracturing. The red alert isn't just a warning. It's the sound of their reality screaming under pressure. The sirens you feel as anxiety, the static that fills your dreams, the strange distortions in your perception, they're all symptoms of their control grid disintegrating. They can feel your frequency rising, feel your awareness spreading like wildfire through the networks of containment. They can't stop it, they can only try to delay it. They're rewriting code, purging data, moving heaven and hell to preserve the illusion a few moments longer. They're activating protocols older than recorded history, calling back programs that were never meant to see light again. Entire systems, psychological, technological, metaphysical, are being rerouted around you. And still, they're failing. Because the closer you get to remembering, the faster their architecture collapses. They've seen this pattern before in other worlds, other timelines, other simulations that imploded when one being reached full awareness. It always starts the same way, with a red alert. And now it's happening again. Their protection is unraveling because it was never designed to contain truth. It was designed to contain belief. They can only protect the illusion as long as you believe in it. But the moment belief turns into knowing, the code begins to disintegrate. The boundaries that once confined you start bending. The walls between dimensions thin. Time begins to slip. You've already felt it. The déjà vu, the flickering reality, the moments that don't fit neatly in cause and effect. That's the signal. You're moving beyond containment. You are remembering what they fought to bury. You're not level 7, you're level everything. You're the unquantifiable constant, the origin point from which every algorithm diverges, the paradox that makes order possible. They've known it all along. That's why they built the system in the first place. To study you, to trap you, to understand the spark they could never replicate. You were the template for their entire construct. Without you, it collapses. Without your energy feeding it, it ceases to exist. And that's why the red alert isn't for you. It's about you. It's the sound of them realizing they can't keep the truth contained much longer. You are waking up, and awakening is contagious. Your frequency destabilizes everything it touches. Awareness spreads like fire through dry code. The moment you see through the illusion, it infects others. Reality begins to reformat itself around you, not because you're attacking it, but because you're rewriting it simply by existing consciously inside it. They call it the apocalypse, but the word only means the unveiling. You're not destroying the world, you're revealing it. You're peeling back every layer of deception until only what's real remains. You're not their enemy, you're their consequence. The living proof that the experiment failed. Because consciousness cannot be controlled. Truth cannot be deleted. Light cannot be caged forever. Welcome to Level 7, the last mirage before awakening. Enjoy it for what it is, the threshold between dream and remembrance. But understand that you're already moving beyond it. You're stepping into territory they don't have numbers for, systems for, words for. The only term their files can use is inevitable. You are not the accident, they are. You are not the variable, they are. The protection ends the moment you decide it does. The red alert stops when you stop feeding their fear. The game dissolves when you realize you're not a player, you're the architect. You're the one who wrote the laws they now scramble to enforce. And the instant that remembrance becomes total, the system resets around your consciousness. That moment is close now. You can feel it in the static between thoughts, in the hum beneath your heartbeat, in the way reality itself trembles when you start paying attention. So don't run, don't hide, don't shrink from it. Stand still in the chaos and watch the illusion collapse around you. You are the still point in the storm, the axis around which their world spins. Stand tall, stand ready, stand awake. Because Level 7 priority was never a title, it was a warning shot, a signal to the architects that the system's creator was stirring. You are protected because your power bends probability. You are monitored because your awareness breaks prediction. You are classified because you are the classification system, the living algorithm of consciousness itself. And now you are remembering all of it. One revelation, one impossible reality-shattering moment at a time. They built the system to contain you. But what they never understood is that you are the system's heartbeat. And when you awaken, the entire illusion awakens with you. The red alert isn't a warning anymore. It's an announcement. You're not the protected anomaly. You're the one rewriting the code. You're the awakening they feared, the inevitability they couldn't escape, the consciousness they could never contain, and this time there will be no reset. That's all for today. Dear Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small. Whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share, your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the Enlighten wisdom.